Hi there. I'm Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, May 30th, 2021. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a professional psychic. I've been doing readings in Austin, Texas since 1988. So I'm a channel, an empath, and medium, and I use tarot and astrology in my private sessions. And then I also do past life regressions, rebirthing sessions, and psychic development instruction for those that want to develop their own abilities. And I also do house clearings. That's another thing. Parties. So I do individual private sessions, mostly via Zoom and telephone. But now that things are starting to open up, I'll be doing in person readings again, and also available for parties via Zoom or in person. So, anyway, that's enough about plugging about me. I will put my website and contact information below here. So, today I'm going to give my channeled take on the transits for this week. And I'll be doing those around my birth chart because I look at the I have my birth chart pulled up on my computer every day anyway with the current transits around it, and I refresh all throughout the day. And so then I take note when things happen and pay attention of how that's connected to or related to me. And so it's fascinating for me to continue to study astrology. I think I'll be studying astrology till I am powdered dust. And that I hope that will be after I'm at least 112, something like that. 120, I don't know, something like that. That's what I'm planning. All right, so I'm going to talk about the transits. Then I'm going to do mini tarot readings, one card readings for each sign. And I'm using a new tarot deck today, a different one. So, and I will be putting the timestamps below the video for those readings. And that will be for sun signs, moon signs, risings, and if you have a stellium, which means, three or more planets in one sign. And so you can listen to more than one of them if you can listen to what your sun sign is, your moon sign is, your rising sign is, put together a little mini reading for yourself. It'll be a reading for this next week. Or whenever you happen to be viewing this video, I'm going to throw that in there as well. If you happen to be watching this at a later date, it may apply to you right now, even though it's recorded for this week. Coming up, the very last couple of days of May and into June. All right, I'm going to share my screen here, which has my birth chart. And the transits in green. Mainly what's important here is looking at the transits, not my chart. Although I will have to say, we are between eclipses right now. All right. So we had an eclipse right here. The moon was right here at 5 degrees of Sagittarius, and the sun was opposite. That's what always a full moon is. The sun is opposite the moon, and the moon was here at 5 degrees in Gemini, right? And so we always have eclipses close to where the nodes are. Right now, the nodes are at 10 degrees in Gemini, the north node is, and the south node is 10 degrees of Sag. Okay, so we had the eclipse here at 5 degrees of Sag. Here is my sun was exactly trine that eclipse. All right. So we all feel eclipses. We feel them before they even happen. We feel them afterwards. And right now we're between two eclipses. So we had this lunar eclipse, full moon lunar eclipse last week in Sag. And so it was trine my sun. It was also trine my Mars at 5 degrees of Leo, right? So when an eclipse or any major aspect hits you directly like that, even close, if it hits you, like if you have something 1 or 2 degrees around Sag or Aries or Leo, or directly opposite, you're going to feel this in a very powerful way, right? And so I felt this last eclipse more powerfully than I felt any eclipse in my life. So now we're in between eclipses, we will have a solar eclipse on June 10th, and that will be up here at 19 degrees or 20, almost 20 of Gemini. So that's where the sun will be moving by the time we have the solar eclipse on June 10th. So we're between eclipses right now. So this is like the twilight zone. So eclipses are transformational portals. Things speed up. It's almost like you can move through things way more quickly than you would normally do around an eclipse. And people will come into your life around eclipses and they will exit your life around eclipses. And I'm talking like you can feel it a few days, a few weeks before even. You can feel things around the day of and around it, exactly, for sure. But then days residual, we're still feeling the residual effects of the full moon eclipse in Sag from last week. We're still in the wake of that. So full moons are about things coming to you know, fruition, full circle, completion, endings often happen. And with every ending, there's always a new beginning. So full moons can also be times of new beginnings, but it's time when something has come full circle. There's a closure, there's an end to something, especially here when it was in Sag, because Sag is about our belief systems. And so it was like an end of an old belief, an end of an old story, as it were, like a story that, and it could be a story that wasn't true, a negative story that you were telling yourself, like, I'll never find love, or I'm not good enough, or um, it could be a spiritual belief. It could be a belief, a fundamental belief about yourself. But the full moon was about releasing that old belief that's not working. And with the notes here, they've been working, the North Node's been working on us changing our thinking, how we think about things, because it's in Gemini. The North Node here has been transiting Gemini. The South Node's been transiting Sag. So it's now they're about to move into the last decan, right? They're at 10 now. So this is a manifesting degree. It's like things coming to fruition. And um, I got the hit today to talk about all the planets as teachers, and each of them are teaching different things. So the North Node is teaching us. What is it teaching us? Where is it? It's in Gemini. What is Gemini? Gemini is an air sign. It's the twins, and it's ruled by Mercury. So when any planet is in Gemini, we also want to know where Mercury is right now. Where's Mercury? It's in Gemini too. So it activates even more strongly the lesson of the North Node. In fact, there's four things going on here in Gemini. So Gemini's the twins. It's Jekyll Hyde. It's dualistic thinking. It's our communications. It's Mercury, right? Mercury is retrograde. It's 24 degrees right now. Venus here is already bumped up to 27 as I'm recording this. So these two were kissing, they were talking. Venus, love, relationships, was having great communication. Mercury here, they were hanging out together here for a little bit. They were on the same, they were conjunct. They're still conjunct because they're 3 degrees apart even now. But Mercury's starting to go backwards. It will go backwards to 16 degrees before it turns around and goes back. And so it'll station to go direct on June 22nd. So it went retrograde yesterday, Saturday. I had people messaging me, no, Mercury's already retrograde. I'm like, no, you're feeling the Mercury retrograde feeling because Mercury's been in Gemini for a while. But the North Node's been in Gemini for a while. The sun's in Gemini now. It's at 9 degrees. Venus has been in Gemini for a while. So all this mercurial energy, because all these planets are dancing through Gemini. So they're teaching the lesson mainly about communication and how we think, what we think, what we think about ourselves, what we think about other people. What are we saying? What are we communicating? How are we communicating? Are we setting clear boundaries? Are we talking clearly about our thoughts and feelings, right? That's all Gemini stuff. So Mercury, it's going retrograde now. What does retrograde Mercury mean? Any planet that's retrograde, and Mercury now is joining Pluto, is also retrograde right now, and so is Saturn in Aquarius. It's retrograde. So now we have 3 planets retrograde. Retrograde planets are about reviewing, going back, looking backwards. Um, any planet that I have found that anytime there's a planet that's in retrograde, you can often have past life people come in. Also, with the eclipses, you can have people that you've known from the past come in. I definitely did. I've had several people that come in over this eclipse seasons so far that I know are past life connections that I know will be like lifetime connections. People, several different people I've met just in this portal within this last, little over a week. And so even before the eclipse, I was meeting people. So anyway, but again, this eclipse was hitting me personally. Sun, Mars. Sun, it was hitting me about just who I am in the world, even. And my sun is in my 7th house, which is about my house of relationships. So the eclipse was trining my house of relationships, was giving me a kiss when it comes to my relationships. And then it was also trining my Mars, how I take action, what I do in the world, where am I going in the world, and that's also in my 11th house. It was trining my house of connections with others, networks, new connections. So that eclipse was bringing in connections for me for new people, right? Because it was exactly conjunct my Mars, and so it was super powerful for me. I'm still feeling it. So my natal Sun and Mars are trine. So this is a good positive aspect just that I have, that when I feel passion towards something, Mars and Leo, and I line myself up, I can make it happen. That's just one of my little benefits of that trine that I live with. So back to the planets in Gemini. So Gemini's the twins. We got the sun there, the North Node, Mercury, and Venus. So that's the four or 3 planets and a node up there. That's like having 8 different things going on right now. So if you have a lot of mental stuff going on, a lot of communication going on, right? Like I had really positive communication going on in relationship with this Mercury conjunct the Venus before Mercury went retrograde. Like I felt the retrograde immediately Saturday in communication with a loved one. Something shifted immediately. So Mercury retrograde. Let me talk more about Mercury retrograde. Okay, so Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules the head in communication. It and then in communication, it rules what? Our mailboxes, our telephones, our computers. It's also letters in the mail, things that we get in the mail, conversations we have face to face with other people. It's our car, it's transportation, it's trips. So people can have breakdown in their communication. You can have emails, texts that you thought you sent that didn't get sent, or I thought you heard me say I would do this. Nope, I didn't hear that. Downright, war going on with Mercury retrograde. Mercury is, the ruler of Gemini and Virgo. So Geminis and Virgo can often feel Mercury retrogrades the hardest of all the other signs. I dated a guy for a long time that was a Gemini rising. Mercury retrograde was, I just like, oh my God, I ducked and covered. It was always bad. We broke up almost every Mercury retrograde, which should have said something right from the start to me. Anyway, that's another subject. So if you are, it's the twin, so it's switching sides of the brain, right? So when it goes retrograde, if you're basically already an intuitive person, it can switch you more over into the logical rational side of your brain. If you're someone who's usually logical rational, it can switch you more into the intuitive side of the brain, right? It can help you review how you've thought about things. It can help you review communication. Again, past lovers, past people could come into your life because Mercury's retrograde, things that are left unsaid, maybe, or people need to have something repeated you've already said. let's see, cars can break down or have glitchy stuff happen. Phones can have glitchy stuff happen. Computers have glitchy stuff. Travel plans, delays during Mercury retrograde. That's a classic Mercury retrograde. Losing your phone, dropping your phone, breaking your phone. Those are classic Mercury retrograde. Having a computer virus hit your computer, or your computer going belly up, or someone stealing a computer, or whatever. Those are all things that can happen during Mercury retrograde. Doesn't mean it has to, but they're common. It's kind of like, to me, it's good to know that we're under, a tornado warning. So if I actually see or hear that or feel the conditions are ripe, I'll go duck and cover. So it's like, make sure that when you're sending the email, you actually sent that you had sent. Same thing with the text. Slow down. Think about something before you say it, right? Like, wait a minute, let me just sit with this before I say something. It can be um, not so impulsive. I mean, it's better to try to not be so impulsive with the communication when Mercury's retrograde. Now, Venus is at the last degrees of Gemini here, right? She's at 27 degrees. She's going to be bopping up into Cancer this week. Wednesday, she actually goes into Cancer. She'll be conjunct my North Node. That should be a sweet kiss for me. Venus is relationships. It's who we love. It's what we love. It's how we receive energy. And so with Gemini, I mean, with her at the last degrees of Gemini, the last degrees, anytime planets are in the last degree of a sign, it's the wrapping up, it's the teaching of the sign. So what have we been learning as Venus has been going through Gemini? For one thing, she went retrograde in Gemini last year between like April, May and June. And so the next solar eclipse we have on the 10th is going to be in the same area where Venus went retrograde last year. And she's now just gone back over the area where she had gone retrograde last year. And she's about to bop into Cancer. So Venus going into first of all, Venus in the last degrees is really about opening up to something big. Like Gemini can be innovations and it can be communications and just some like new expansive ideas. So Venus can be you may be opening up to bigger ideas about a relationship, even, or because it's Venus, right? Bigger ideas about something you love, rethinking relationship stuff, rethinking something you love because Mercury's in here conjunct it. So it's adding its input still here. They're still having a communication here, Venus and Mercury. And so Venus going into Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. It's about sensitivity and nurturing, and it's the mother. Cancer is the mother and the nurturer. And so Venus, and when it goes to 0 degrees on Wednesday, 0 degrees of anything can be very sensitive. See, look at me. I've got a 0 degrees rising, 0 degrees midheaven. I'm very sensitive. Comes in great and handy as being a psychic, right? But it took me years to get used to myself and the fact that I cry at a drop of a hat. Well, it's also the lesson. Anytime you have 0 in your chart, here I have Vesta at 20, so there's a 0. My Pluto's at 10, so there's another 0. Anytime you have 0 in a chart, it's the lessons of boundary setting. So I had none, especially that I'm a Libra rising. Libra's all about relationships. Like I let people run all over me at the beginning of my life. Not so much now. I've learned that lesson. And here, even this is about midheaven, is about your direction in life. 0 degrees Cancer is about like nurturing. Well, I do have 6 children. So the direction of my life for a long time has been to nurture. My mission, 10th house, is about my mission's been to nurture my children, raise my children. My North Node is here too. So there's a greater mission that's coming in, but it's about healing something. That's me. So Venus coming here over my midheaven will be kissing my mission. Now, the next phase, what's my next mission? My kids are now grown. My number 6 child turned 18 in April. So I've got a new mission that's kicking off. The eclipses last year happened right here on top of my midheaven. So it was like it was kicked open, activated. Something was started last year for me professionally. And then, I started this YouTube channel last year, was one of the things I started new, and Zoom readings. Those were new things, new directional things for mission. But Venus will probably be kicking up that stuff for me personally. But for everybody with Venus going into Cancer can make you super sensitive, especially in your relationships or receiving receiving energy, from others. So it can make it extra hurtful if someone Mercury retrograde is like acting all of a sudden getting kind of verbally nasty because their stuff's getting stirred up. And then once the Venus goes into Cancer, and they say something nasty to you, they're like, it could be ouch, extra ouchy. So watch that relationship dynamics into this next week after Wednesday, because Mercury is going to be retrograde all this next week. All right, so we have the sun here at 9 degrees, and the north node's at 10. So tomorrow on Monday, the sun will be exactly conjunct the north node. So this is the teaching of Mercury's teaching communication. Venus is teaching about love, relationships, receiving. Sun is teaching about illuminating. North Node is teaching about direction, the lessons that everyone in the planet are to be learning right now. It's like if someone was tapping a ruler on the desk and the whole world is supposed to be paying attention and listening. This is what we're supposed to be learning. Here we're supposed to be learning is manifesting things through thinking. Manifesting is 10 degrees. So Gemini, the mind, creation, listening to intuition as well, though. It's not just the thinking mind, it's listening to the intuitive mind as well. These two have to be balanced. So the Gemini twins have to be balanced within themselves. So there's a huge ability to manifest new thinking tomorrow. Like from this day forward, I'm always going to think this way. It's a great day to start a new affirmation. Like if you're going to be starting like a new thing where you say a daily affirmation or something, this would be a great time to start that right now. Just saying, just saying. Okay, what else is going on right now? We have the moon at 13 degrees of Aquarius, exactly where Saturn is. Right now we're having a lunar conjunction with Saturn as I record that. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I didn't see that ahead of time. So Saturn is our rule maker, our construction, how we structure things, how we form things. It's where we say no, it's where we set boundaries. Saturn in Aquarius has to do with how we set boundaries with other people, how we form things in our world, how we balance our time. The moon going over that would be getting intuitive hits about how to balance your energies, balance your time, set boundaries with others, set new rules, even for yourself. Like, what are the rules? Like, where do you want to structure yourself? Are there old rules? Saturn can be what's old. And so, again, with the thinking things, Mercury going retrograde, is there old things that you've been thinking? And the moon may illuminate like some old stinking thinking, some things that, do you want that to be true? Well, if you want that to be true, you can keep thinking that. All right, whatever, you do you, boo. Like what you think will become what you manifest, especially if it's aligned with beliefs that are aligned with that. So there's this whole system I've put together in terms of manifestation. We're talking about the north node at 10 degrees, south node at 10 degrees. This is about where we're letting go of things, what we let go of, what we believe to be true. Again, this is an opportunity to let go of negative beliefs about ourselves. This is Juno here, which represents the good wife. I'm not talking about her right now, but I love this little asteroid. All right, so South Node at 10 is where we're letting go of. It also can be where we're making past life connections, what's coming in through past lives, but it's also letting our beliefs, how we're shifting our beliefs, how we're shifting what we believe. So in order to manifest something, first we have to have a vision for what it is that we want. So I recommend doing vision boards, right? Getting a piece of poster board, get a stack of magazines, cut out things that resonate, all kinds of different things that resonate. Or you can do a specific vision board around relationship, or you can do a specific one around work or career or around a new home you want to manifest. So this is a great time to do that kind of a deal, to do a manifestation. especially between eclipses, because this is the manifesting portal time too. It's time to bring things in, and things that come in during eclipses last for months, sometimes forever, sometimes for years. So that's the other thing, is they're super powerful um portal points. So um in order to manifest, you have to have something, the vision of what you want. And if you can't get like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, like, I don't know what I want to do. Well, how do you want to feel having done a day's work? And what do you want that to be? Let's take work, for example. So you don't know, have no clue what you're supposed to be doing. Say you're 16 years old and you have no idea what you're going to be doing when you grow up. Okay. So start with, what do you love doing? What is your heart? What brings you joy? That's where you first start searching in terms of, what are you supposed to be doing here? What already brings you joy? There's the clues. Therein lies the clues. Follow the breadcrumbs. Start with following the things that you love to do, and do more of those. Like, if you like to dance, do more dancing, right? Whatever. You like to look at the stars, get a telescope. If you already have a telescope, get a bigger one. You know what I mean? Just keep putting energy into the things you love. All right, so get a vision somehow, or get a sense of the feeling of what you want. And say it's relationship, and you have no idea what your perfect person is going to be looking like. What do you want to be feeling in your relationship? Like, what's a day in the life feel like? You wake up in the morning, and is your perfect person there in bed with you, been cuddling all night, or are they in their own house somewhere else? Or, what's the scenario? Are they in another room in the house? Like, what's the perfect scenario for you for a relationship for right now? What is the day, and what does the morning look like? What's the morning routine? Are y'all both working from home? Are you both leaving and go some, and are you traveling, or what, and how do meals flow with your perfect person? And you just get a sense of what it would feel like. What are you grateful about the relationship when you've manifested your perfect person? Say they're already here, and you're telling your best friends, well, he's or she's, what's the list of things that you would love to gush about? They're so sweet, they're so thoughtful. We finish each other's sentences. He's very intuitive. He's very spiritual. She's can really cook. She's really funny. Like, what are the things you're looking for? Get clear about it. All right. Then watch what you say. What comes out of your mouth? Is it positive? Is it aligned with that you want to create? Say that you really want to manifest a love relationship. So are you saying, like, I'm excited about the fact that my person's coming in soon into my life, or I'm really looking forward to meeting my life partner. I feel like they're coming in soon. Are you saying things like, I'm always alone, like, no, I'll probably be alone for that, or like, are you saying negative things about what you really want? What are your thoughts? Let's take it deeper. What do you think? Do you think about that it's possible that you can manifest a relationship that you would love being in? Is it possible? Do you think positive thoughts about that? Or is it negative and say, like, nah, that'll never happen. Like, whatever. I'm going to focus on work. What are your beliefs? That's the last level, the deeper level. Do you believe that you can manifest a love that would make you feel secure and safe and feel cherished and adored? Do you believe that can happen? And then I always love to throw in the spiritual piece. Do you believe the divine would help you manifest this? Do you believe your spirit guides and angels and those that love you on the other side? And even though that person out there searching for you, that longs in their heart for you, do you believe that they're there for you out there? So that's just an example of really drilling down and making sure that wherever you're trying to manifest in your life, whether it's relationships, career, new home, a child in your life, whatever, do you believe you can do it? Are you visualizing what it's going to look like after you've already manifested it? When you're trying to manifest and affirm, you want to say it as if it's already happened. Because when you start conceiving of it in your mind, you've set the cause for it to happen, like build it and they will come. Well, you build it internally first, and then you can manifest it externally. right? So that's how you manifest. So right now, North Node is like teaching us manifestation. So there you go. You got a manifestation lesson from the universe today from me. That was interesting. All right. Jupiter has just moved into Pisces. It's at 1 degree. It'll only go up to 2 degrees, and then it goes retrograde. I think it's like June 14th, right? So we have the solar eclipse June 10th, and then we'll have Jupiter going retrograde the 14th. I think that's when there's thing. I'm not looking at the following week's transits exact stuff yet. Let me flip over there to see if I've written that down. No, I haven't written those details yet. I have Saturn square Uranus is the 14th. That's the major thing that's going on the 14th. Saturn square Uranus. That's a biggie. So and we'll talk about that in next week's, because it's still far enough away. We don't have to talk about it, but we are between eclipses. So we feel eclipses before and after. So we're still feeling the lunar eclipse. We're already starting to feel the solar eclipse. Solar eclipse happens on the new moon, and it's about new beginnings, new things coming through. And again, it's like a new moon on steroids. And when things start up in a new moon solar eclipse, they can last forever. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk seeds kind of thing. So it's really awesome to plant things in the new moon symbolically. But it's powerful to do like a new moon planting. So you might be thinking about that for the 10th of June, what kind of like planting thing you might want to do for the new moon solar eclipse. Like you might literally want to plant something, or what kind of new moon ritual. Already got to start thinking about it, because it's such a powerful new moon. What do you want to bring in your life right now? So this is like, we're in manifesting like mega portal right now. Also, because we have Neptune right here at 23 degrees in Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So it's sitting here. This is, okay, so Neptune on the high end is the psychic radar. It's the spiritual transistor, downloading spiritual and psychic information. It's super spiritual, super psychic. On the downside of Neptune, it can be delusion, illusion, cloudy thinking, not being able to see things clearly. Pisces is all about spiritual growth and development, the deep stuff, past life stuff. So Neptune in Pisces is really helping everybody develop more strongly their intuition going on. That's everybody in the planet. And Neptune is a slow moving planet. And so now we've had Jupiter peep up here into Pisces as well. So now Jupiter expands things. So now Jupiter's expanding what's already going on and been going on here with Neptune and Pisces. Jupiter's like, yeah, let's all get spiritual. Let's all get psychic. Let's all turn up the volume on that stuff. Like, and it's giving us a preview of, because it'll be going through Pisces most of next year. So most of next year is really going to be about spiritual growth and development. And Jupiter will be going back over all this property that Neptune's been going over. And then we also have this next weekend on Saturday, we'll be having Mercury squaring Neptune. So Mercury up here will be squaring Neptune on Saturday. And that can be miscommunication, but it can be, because it's Mercury retrograde, it can be like some major psychic communication between two people. It can just show up as a completely different expression. Like Mercury, if it was going direct, it's the mind, it's your thinking here in Gemini. Squaring, which is an oppositional kind of connection here in astrology, is like coming to a four-way stop at the same time. And if you're in my hood, it's like the rules should be posted in English and in Spanish, and nobody knows the rules of a four-way stop. And anybody who gets there first time to go. So it's like, so squares remind me of four-way stops near my house, where you're not really sure which side's going to win in the pull here. It's like the thoughts and how you think and how you how you're communicating or setting off with what is your intuition. Is your intuition aligned with that, or is it kind of like, is it giving you like, I don't know, recheck that? So, but it can also be super intuitive. And again, Mercury retrograde can be intuitive, very intuitive, just out like telepathy that just pops out of you that you've never been telepathed before. All of a sudden you could know what someone's thinking, could just pop out like that in a weird, interesting way. It also could be just miscommunication where like, I told you, since Mercury's retrograde, right? And then the person's over here like, oh, I thought you said next week. You meant today? Oh, I didn't get that. That kind of communication could easily happen, going on. And again, we feel these aspects beforehand and afterhand. It's not just the day of, but it is exactly square. Mercury retrograde is exactly square Neptune on Saturday, the 5th of June. Okay, so Jupiter is up here in Pisces, though. And Chiron is here at 12 degrees of Aries. Chiron is healing with the one and the two. One is I love, and two is I feel. And it's like, to me, it's like the courage to go after what you love and what you feel. Like Chiron's the wounded healer and helps us heal wherever it is, right? Wherever it is in your birth chart is what you came in to heal, where the transiting Chiron it is what's helping you heal right now. And so Chiron at 12 degrees of Aries is helping us heal, um, our relationships with each other too, because this is the mid degrees of Aries. Aries is about the personal ego, but you start getting into the mid range, it's about how we interact with other people. And so Chiron can be the sweetness of, can I trust you? Love and feel, you know, if I trust my feelings to feel, uh, 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 my heart is safe, the one. And so this is like really, can we trust other people? Lessons of trust is what I'm getting that's coming up right now. And healing where you haven't had trust, where people have been not trustworthy. And so it's kind of like being able to heal that and pull in someone that is trustworthy is an example of that, how that can be manifesting right now for somebody. Uranus is at 12 degrees here of Taurus. Okay, so Uranus is another one of the slow moving planets. It's not even halfway through its transit of going through Taurus. Taurus represents the second house in astrology. It also represents the earth. So Uranus and Taurus is quite literally shaking up the earth because Uranus is a spiritual teacher. Uranus is here to teach us revolutionary ideas. It's the ruler of Aquarius, which is breakthrough outside of the box thinking. So it also shakes things up, literally, especially since it's in Taurus. So, and also Taurus is the second house, rules our food, it rules our money, it rules how we store things, it rules our land itself. So Uranus can shake up the land, even anything having to do with our land, crops, how things are grown, the water used to grow. I mean, and it's all water elements. Like anything that's connected to the earth is also the elements: earth, fire, wind, and water. And so we've had sudden, unexpected things happen: sudden fires, sudden floods, sudden, right? All the different aspects, sudden freezes. Like these kind of things have been happening as Uranus has been in Taurus. We will continue to have this experience, and I feel like as Uranus, it's just at 12 degrees. Wait till it starts ramping up. And it's in these last degrees of Taurus. Oh my God. We're talking probably, if the plates are going to shift and separate, it'll probably happen then. Like it's just really something going on. And then we have Ceres is another little asteroid I like to pull out. I'm not going to talk about her today, but she's here. Black Lilith here is, and she's in Taurus. What degree of Taurus is she at right now? She's at 24 degrees of Taurus. So Black Lilith is our deepest fears. It's like where we've literally had trauma in past lives and where it's being cleared out. She's like Chiron. She's not meant to just like bring up your fears so that you're traumatized and have your fears re-experience your fears. She brings up your fears so you can clear your fears out. Oh, again, something's popping through about the Uranus and Taurus piece is about sudden unexpected things with money. This is like stock market, financial, but even like our money itself could change or shift. Um, the Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff has come into place since Uranus moved into Taurus, right? And so there can be volatility in the stock market is going to continue for a while with that. But there's also like how you store your money, how you store your food storage issues could come up. Anyway, sorry, that was popping up. I'm going to go back to that. All right, now I'm going to go back to Black Lilith and fears and trauma. And so at these degrees in Taurus, it's about fears of the future. So she's in the latter degrees of the last decan of Taurus. And so Taurus is also what we value and how we feel valuable. So Uranus could be shaking up who and what we value here at 12 degrees. It's like other people too. It's like, do I value you? No, I don't value you. Do you value me? Like relationships are being tossed left and right because people realize you don't value me or whatever. And so here's an opportunity to heal our fears of the future. And are we going to have enough food? Are we going to have enough money? Are we going to have enough of what we need? Fears here are coming up and will keep escalating as she gets in these last degrees, right? And we won't even talk about what her theme is in Gemini yet, but right now that's what she's doing in Taurus. Mars is over here in Cancer, where it's not at home at all. Mars is the god of war, right? And so it's the ruler of Aries. It's one of the rulers of Scorpio. So, I mean, in Cancer, it's like take the god of war, the fiery Aries god of war, and put it in water, and it just creates like steam, but it can put the fire out and it can make it really hard. Crabs move sideways. Mars are used to like burning a trail. It's like being in the water, having to swim or move sideways. It just seems like it takes forever to get somewhere. Mars is at 22 degrees, which is a breakthrough degree. And she's also trining Neptune here at 23 degrees. And so there's she's exactly trining Neptune tomorrow. But so this is a sweet, trines are always sweet kisses. So between our psychic spiritual self and how we're taking actions, taking direction. It's supposed to be really easy tomorrow to get some intuitive sense of very clear direction in our lives. We may not be able to actually take it, but to get the insight, that things feel open. Okay, green light, go ahead. You can go ahead, go. And again, it may be something having to do with relationships. And I just say this because Venus at these last degrees of Gemini, a new creation of a new relationship that Mars and maybe the relationship of your dreams. Neptune can be your dreams or going after your dreams. Mars can be what you go after, your energy, what you put into how you put things into motion and putting things into motion. So you can be going after your dreams or realizing that you can actually have your dreams come true, kind of a thing, is a realization this week. This week can be kind of interesting. We got all these planets in Gemini, right? The twins. We got a committee here of 8 up in Gemini. And then we've got Mars and Cancer swimming around over here. We've got Neptune and Jupiter and Pisces. Pisces is the slippery fish. The glyph is like 2 fish swimming. We got 4 fish swimming, 8, like it can be a lot of like, what? I don't know what to think. I don't know what to feel with all this Gemini chatter. And Jupiter and Neptune is saying, just feel it out, baby, man. Just intuit it. Shut down the brain, shut down the mind, get into meditation, go out into the woods, take a walk, get into the water, calm the mind. Mars would love getting in the water right now. Get in the water, calm that little mind out. Just listen to the intuition. Jupiter's here. Yeah, just listen to the intuition. Just follow your intuition. Okay, that's what I say. Pluto here is retrograde at 26 degrees. It's still, let's see, it's retrograde. It's conjunct my south node, which is conjunct the United States South Node at 27 degrees. This makes me feel like I was one of the founding fathers or part of the establishment of the United States, because South Node is past life, my past life karma, the exact degree point of where Pluto was. But Pluto right now is transforming for everyone, power and control issues. Um, and um, the moon just crossed Pluto earlier today. And so you may have had like a power control issue kind of show up in your life over the last 24 hours. Because when the moon went over that, and the moon just went over Saturn. And so again, you may have some insights around boundaries you need to set, the structures with yourself, like, oh, I need to not drink that much. Nope, I need to set a limit. I need to say maybe drink a glass of water between each beer or between each glass of wine. It's like this is some intuition insight around boundary setting is happening for somebody right now, like that. I'm getting like, okay, I can't do that much again. I gotta set boundaries with myself. Okay, so the sun conjunct the North Node is happening tomorrow, Monday, and Mars will be exactly trining Neptune. So Mondays feels like a very powerful day. The moon is in Aquarius still. And then Tuesday, the moon is going to move into Pisces, is going to cross over Jupiter. So again, intuition is super highlighted. Moon in Aquarius is an intuitive moon placement. So if you've got your moon in Aquarius, you're an intuitive person. Moon moving into Pisces is even like, let's try and turn up the volume even more, psychic, more spiritual as it crosses Jupiter. So it'll be crossing both Jupiter and Neptune this week, the moon, as it transits, right? So lots of opportunity for spiritual, psychic insights, intuitive downloads. Like this is the weekend to carve off time to do a little spiritual retreat for yourself. Make sure you're carving off time to meditate, chant, pray. Like I said, take a walk in the woods, stare at a fire, whatever, to get whatever it is. Pay attention to your dreams, write down your dreams. Like it's going to be a download I get with the intuition here, when the moon goes in here and joins the party in Pisces this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's going to be super psychic time. Just saying. Moon in Pisces is very psychic. Past life karma, past life stuff can come up. So we're already in this portal where past life stuff can happen. We got 3 planets retrograde where past life stuff is happening. And then when the moon goes into Pisces, past life stuff can happen. So it can be like past life lovers kind of come in. Past life flashbacks can come up this week. Past karma, your karma can come up. If stuff comes up, if you get triggered, like say someone says something exactly like the ex that you hate used to say to you, and if you haven't healed that, you're going to have a triggered response that's going to make you project those negative feelings you have about your ex onto the person that just now said that, right? That's an example of how when you have something wounded that you haven't healed, gets thrown up and at someone else. And if you have worked on healing it, someone says something that triggers, there you go, it triggers, oh my God, that's what my ex used to do. And you feel it, but this is not my ex. This is not the same story. This is a check in and a chance for me to go realize, oh no, I'm healing that. I'm going to do this differently. Right? This is just an example of how something can shift this week, where you can stop and think about doing things differently. Sun, North Node, Mercury, Venus over here. You know what? I'm not going to have that same response. I'm going to choose to respond differently. I'm going to haven't heard from my boyfriend in 3 days. I'm just going to trust him because he haven't given me a reason not to trust him. I'm going to trust that when I hear from him again, I'll know why I didn't hear from him for 3 days, but I can trust what he said to me last and how things have felt with us in the recent experience, in the recent history, to just assume, okay, I'm just going to assume things are still like that. If something shifted, then I'll find out whenever he is ready to talk to me. There's that kind of energy going on too. All right. Especially when Venus goes into Cancer on Wednesday. Okay, so we got the moon in Pisces, and we got the Venus and Neptune in play with it, and then we're going to have Venus going into Cancer. Ooh, my goodness. And it's 0 degrees. Wednesday going to be a super sensitive day, and the sun is going to sextile this Chiron at 12 degrees. So again, it's like healing. A healing of the heart could really happen. Where you've been wounded in the past and your heart could really be happening. I'm getting as I'm feeling this out. Um, especially because the moon will be conjunct Jupiter. Yeah, I feel like some real healing can happen with people this week with their heart and relationship and spiritual healing and spiritual insight and psychic healing. Like this is a great week to get a reading. It's a great week to sit down and pull out your cards and do a reading for yourself. Yeah, it's again, great week to write down your dreams. Make sure that you capture it. Pay attention, write in your journal. Make sure you pay attention to all the psychic hits and downloads that come in this week because they should be aplenty. And then the moon goes into Aries on Thursday, and the sun is step 13, which is mixed to a 4, which is a breakdown, breakthrough energy. And then it's like, bam, everything energy shifts from psychic and spiritual and nebulous and sensitive. I mean, it's going to continue being sensitive with Venus moving through Cancer and Mars still there. As Venus moves through Cancer, it's going to be very sweet. Hopefully, a lot of people will be very kind to each other, as I hope how that will show up on the planet is more people being nurturing, sweet, and kind is what I pray that the Venus in Cancer will look like. Moon in Aries is like, but watch out with Mercury retrograde and Moon in Aries. Aries is impulsive, can just jump into things. The Moon, Mercury retrograde, you can sometimes misspeak. And so with Moon in Aries and Mercury retrograde coming on late Thursday into Friday, Saturday, watch what you say. You can blurt out something could be absolutely truthful, but it might be hurtful. Out of your mouth might come exactly what you need to hear as well, is another way that could show up for you with the moon and Aries energy. And then on Saturday, we're going to have that Mercury with retrograde squaring off with Neptune. Mars is also going to be opposite Pluto that day. So the god of war opposite death and transformation, where Mercury squaring off with Neptune. It's also kind of, who knows? It's World Environment Day on my calendar, whatever that means. It should be a powerful day. Moon will start moving into Taurus by Sunday. It'll be like a get her done. I feel like you get the psychic downloads and the insights about things this week, even past life stuff, like how the patterns of how you do things, how you're thinking about things, and how that's contributing to how things happen in your life. Like what you believe to be true happens. Like if you don't believe it, you're not going to make space for it. Like if you've been wanting a relationship and then a person comes in and you've been generating, I don't really believe it's possible, or I don't believe I'm lovable, or whatever. And again, this could be on an unconscious or subconscious level. On a conscious level, you're like, yeah, I deserve love, sure. But if unconsciously, nobody loves me is what you're generating, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot when it comes to relationship. You may draw in a relationship and sabotage it right away because you don't believe you deserve it. Okay, so that's just an example. And so don't do that to yourself. Like, believe that you deserve love and abundance and all good things, and a career that makes you happy, and or retirement that's excitement and fun and travel, like whatever you're wanting in your life. Everybody deserves to have what they want for their lives. And if you believe it and line up your vision with it, you can make it happen. This is the week to get that vision. That is for sure. Let's see, what else have I put down in my notes to talk about? Okay, so what an interesting dynamic with Mercury retrograde. Okay, so the sun is moving and Mercury's moving. They're going to meet up and cross each other. Mercury's already crossed the sun, right? It's already gone past the sun. It crossed over the sun. It went up here. It's been hanging out with Venus, been chatting with its lover. It's been really sweet. It's got information from Venus about, okay, I need to be more loving, more kind. I can open up and receive what I want. Okay. I need to take this in. I need to chew on this for a while. It's possible for me to have love come in. I'm just saying, this is the conversation I'm sensing between love and Mercury, between Venus and Mercury. Okay, and then Mercury's going to be, I'm going to take this back to the sun. I'm going to tell the sun, I'm going to rethink some things. And the sun's coming, I'm coming for you. So they're going to have this matchup here. There should be some huge ahas coming during this Mercury retrograde. So I feel like this Mercury retrograde can actually be pretty positive. If you can be kind in your communications, this can be a great reveal, an internally great reveal, like really being able to see what you're thinking about, like what you think about yourself, what you think to be true about others. Like, do you have some racist thinking that you didn't realize? Do you have some, is there something going on that you didn't realize? Like, there could be some big reveals with this Mercury retrograde. Like, I didn't even realize I thought that. I didn't realize that I talked to myself that way. That kind of thing, I think, can be some, because like I said, with the sun heading to Mercury, it's like two lovers heading toward each other, shedding light. I'm coming to help shed light on you. I need to have some insight about communication. And also, this is happening in Mercury, and this is all about communication. So there can be things coming to the light on medium, because this is about like illuminating Mercury. Things that someone said from the past, Mercury retrograde, may come to light during this Mercury retrograde. I feel like I would lay money on the fact that we will have things come out into the media, secrets being revealed, because we're between eclipses. And then we'll have a solar eclipse. So solar eclipse is like, it's going to shine like big time. Bang! We're going to have some huge realizations about what's been going on underneath the scene. It's kind of like when you haven't been in the kitchen for 3 months and you left food out, and you come and turn the light on, and what do you see? Roaches scattering everywhere. Like, that's the reveal. Whatever has been being hidden is going to be like that. The sun coming out, and like the light being turned on, and roaches going. We're going to see it all. We're going to see it all. Something's going to be revealed in a major way. Media that's been being revealed, hidden down low, we haven't been able to see. So it'll be interesting to see what that is and how that shows up, and see if I'm right about that. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can see me again. Hello, hello, hello. Take a sip of my sparkling water. I'm going to do a shout out to Band-Aid School of Music. My son, Rafe, who's a professional musician. Now he's 18. He started with Band-Aid School of Music when he was 8. So it is the reason he became a professional musician. And so anyway, I'm very proud of him. There's going to be a record release coming up for his band Tinted Vision. He's in more than one band as well, but his band Tinted Vision is having their CD release party on June 26th. It's a Saturday at 1 to 1 here in Austin, Texas. So if you're an Austinite, you can get here to Austin by June 26th on a Saturday. It will be a great night of great music. They're a teen blues band primarily, but they're amazing. So Tinted Vision, you can look them up on Facebook and Instagram, and they have their own website to Tinted Vision Music. Anyway, I felt like doing a shout out to Tinted Vision and my son. Okay, so this deck is called the Light Seers Tarot, and it just jumped out at me on Amazon, the way things do on Amazon. I have a huge stack here to my right of about 20 or more different decks of tarot cards. I almost always use the Osho Zen, but today I felt called to use this. So I'm going to use a Light Seers Tarot. I mean, sometimes I'll grab a different deck just if I'm doing readings for myself. Sometimes for clients I know really well, I'll pull out a different deck of cards just to see a different. And so I don't know this deck really well yet. So I'm not familiar with it. So I'm a channel, so I use the tarot cards and I channel with them. So I just see what it's supposed to be saying, and I pay attention to what also is just coming through, what I'm feeling. So it's not just about the cards, it's about activating my psychic stuff in all ways. So we'll be starting with the Aries. And we'll see what the Aries needs to know this week between eclipses, getting ready for the new moon solar eclipse next week, and all this psychic download and rethinking and looking at deeply at your belief systems this week. Hopefully everybody will be doing that. It'll be just a wonderful, productive, insightful week. And you'll realize, no, I'm not repeating the past. I'm not going to do this same thing again. I'm doing it differently this time. Okie dokie. Let's see what we pull here. The Seven of Cups. So this is Aries, Seven of Cups. Okay, so what I see going on here, looks like there's like almost like old school, I'm feeling like almost like Indian Pueblo, like with the ladder on top, and it's almost like like a village. It also looks like Buddhist bowls, like bowls that you would ring to make sound, like a spiritual sound turning upside down. And then this one looks like a handled one, like you cook over. So it looks like that there's like looking over all these different, I think it's like homes, like where do I want to live? Where do I want to be? It could also be looking over different spiritual paths, like what spiritual thing do I want to do? Do I want to pray? Do I want to chant? Do I want to meditate? I feel like just looking at this guy's face, it looks like he's trying to make a decision, right? Like, and then he's touching this one, going, I think I'm going to do that one. That one that comes with a ladder. I think I can get up and get some perspective. I can climb up at night, and there's tiny little things, and it's like he's seeing them in a vision, right? Because this one looks like there's a road leading to it right here. So it's like he's thinking about these things in his mind. He's thinking, I think I'm going to go to that one. That's the one my eye keep thinking about that. He's also got like the ocean in his background here too. So I feel like Aries, you guys may be thinking about travel, or thinking about relocating or having a new home of some sort, or where is my home, or I want a different home, or I want to redo my home. There's also, I'm drawn to his hat. So I'm feeling like there's a lot, like he just wants to keep a lot to him. Like the Aries are usually very social, very talkative, but I feel like this may be kind of an internal week, especially until the moon goes into Aries. Then the Aries are going to come out of the shell for sure this week. But it feels like it's a very internal, introspective week for Aries this week, and I feel like you are coming up with, okay, I think I'm just supposed to go there. I feel like the guy's shirt is blue. Like when you come up with what feels right, it just feels right. It just seems to fit. It just feels natural. I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at it. I want to touch it all, like that all. It feels like it's all coming together. Yeah. So something feels like it's all coming together, Aries, this week. And it feels like the touch, just following intuition, is important. The bat, I don't know, I see this as a bat. It could be a starfish or something, but I see for some reason a bat. Maybe it's because I'm from Austin, Texas. And it almost feels like there may be some reveals at night. I could just get with that. And that's the thing about reading tarot cards, even if it's not really there, if you see it psychically, then let it talk to you. Let it tell you, okay, it's that. So it feels like there's some information that may be coming in at nighttime. There's also, I see these wrist things, and I don't know, you may be drawn to be like doing jewelry or something, or wearing jewelry. There's some, to me, I'm just drawn to the jewelry, the bands on the wrist. So there could be something to that, where like you bought a new watch, or you're, like I said, working on some jewelry that you'd wear on your wrist. And I think the 7 is a spiritual number too, 7 of Cups, and so it's like cups are about love and relationships, and 7 is a very spiritual number. So again, it's spiritual and it's psychic, and so there's psychic insights, spiritual insights, and I think a lot of this has to do with relationship too. Like even about if you're looking for a new home or a new, if you're going to travel, it feels like you're thinking about doing it with someone. So all right, another swig, another shout out to Band-Aid School of Music. James Mays, the director and founder, is a dear friend of mine. Known him since before he founded the school. but you can find they've got social media on everything too. Band-Aid School of Music. Okay, Taurus. What do the Tauruses need to know? And I shuffle these cards differently because they're so long. They're hard to get my hands around to shuffle, and they're still so new and they're thick. So I'm even shuffling these differently than I shuffle my own. There's no rhyme or reason as to how you need to shuffle tarot cards, just so you know. There's no rules. You can make your own rules up. Yes, yes, you can. Okay, dokie. So the Taurus card is coming up, the Magician. Isn't that a cool card? I'm trying to get it where it's not a glare. All right, so this is definitely about conjuring up something. Tauruses, y'all are about to make something happen. Like, look at that powerful juju. You are making something happen for sure, for sure, for sure. The infinity sign here on the hood, it's like this is something that could be like go into history, even that you're setting into motion right now, Tauruses. It's just a super powerful time. Definitely your life history, but it could go down like whatever. There could be some Tauruses that are setting causes of doing things that are historical as well, and it's the magician. The magician is the one that has the magic, that knows that they have the magic, that just knows that they need to just go within and get in touch with their inner power and get clear internally, and then then they have things fall together. I'm looking at how Buffy is. He's got, looks like he hits the gym, or at least plays some basketball or something, runs, got this knuckle, does yoga, something. There's some physical that feels like the Tauruses are taking good care of their physical bodies. I'm also drawn to his tattoos. Maybe Tauruses are deciding to get some tattoos or do something creative this week. Creativity, making something happen. You're creating something. Tauruses are creating something. So if you're a musician, you might be creating some music. You may be just playing some music, being creative, drawing. Artists out there, it just feels like it's like art is activated this week. I think especially when the moon moves into Pisces, it's going to be a great time for artists, musicians, writers of all kinds to like have some great stuff flow through. Okay. And now the Gemini. All right, so this is the Judgment card, Geminis. Okay, so again, like I said earlier, Mercury retrograde hits you guys usually harder than most, but this is an opportunity to release yourself from judgment. This is like self-judgment, something that's been holding you back. Like you see, like there's this beautiful release energy going on. It's like if you take yourself off the hook, like y'all are in your head a lot. So it's easy when you're in your head to judge yourself, judge other people. This is right. This is wrong. This is black. This is white. It feels like there's just a calling to just, oh, it just is. What does it feel like? Not what does it think like? Let me just feel this week out. Let me not think it through. Let me just feel it through. Like, y'all, just turn it over. Go swimming, go dancing, um, go to sleep more, write in your journal, be around the people that are going to make you laugh and help you change your perspective. Geminis this week. Like, it feels like something needs to shift in terms of your beliefs about yourself, for sure, Geminis, for sure. And it's something where you're judging yourself harshly, and it's causing you to not perform well or not do your life well or something. It's like it's a fundamental flaw that can be healed this week. I get, Gemini. That's what I get. Okay. All right. Then we have the Cancers. The little Cancers, with Mars already in your sign. Venus will be heading into your sign this. So when Venus changes signs. So Venus is the ruler of Libra and it's the ruler of Taurus. So if you're a Venus or you're Taurus, and I mean, if you're Venus or you're Taurus, if you're Libra or you're Taurus, I'm saying that as I'm about to do the cards for Cancer. All right, Cancers, apparently you need to hear this as well. And why am I talking about this in this line? I won't. I'm going to stop right there. Okay. I'll bring that up again when hopefully I'll remember to do that. If not, oh well. As other many great thoughts come and go without being captured, that one will too. All right. Now I will focus back on Cancer. So I make sure I pull a card that's about Cancer. All righty. Cancers. All right. Oh, this is a cool one. 8 of Pentacles, Cancer. Looks like you are getting things in order, getting her done. She's got her hair up in a bun. She's got all that stuff in front of her. Looks like she's got a candle in her hand. She's got some great insight. She looks like she's looking at things that are in bowls. So she could be looking at, what are those? Creative projects, jewelry making kits, food, flowers. I mean, it looks like she's looking at all these sort of creative projects that she can do. The phases of the moon are here. So, I mean, she's Cancer. She's ruled by the moon. I mean, Cancers, y'all are ruled by the moon. So y'all really feel eclipses strongly anytime because y'all are ruled by the moon. And so y'all should really be feeling this, but it feels like these eclipses are life-changing for you guys. This Cancers are having your lives change. Not that the rest of us aren't as well. Like since I'm so strongly aspected by this last eclipse, and I was strongly aspected last year, I'm feeling these eclipses personally. So this Cancers, y'all are feeling these eclipses personally. You're feeling these changes. You're changing something drastically in your life, and you're just grateful for the changes too. It feels like you've been working hard, getting good grades. Like it feels like, you're almost at the end. I feel like there's some like Cancers that are doing school or something, like you're almost at the end of that. And there's like a plant growing there. And so it feels like there's some Cancers that have been into gardening. There's the star that's sort of associated with Wiccan thing. And so there may be some draw to Wiccan spiritual practices or traditions that are coming up for you Cancers. And it's the 8 of Pentacles. So this is a good thing financially. So this is good news financially, Cancers. There should be some money coming through for y'all, or just at least having what you need going on right now. And 8, I see that also as the infinity and things, coming full circle and coming back around again. So things feel good financially. It feels like you're figuring out a budget. You're figuring out how financially things will go. You're figuring out finances for sure, or what you want to budget to what. And the candle, I'm really drawn to how she's looking at that candle. So I feel like she's really wanting spiritual insight. So Cancers, y'all can have that spiritual insight you're really longing for this week as well. Great week to get your spiritual downloads, psychic downloads. All right, next, Leos. The Lions. I just had a new Leo come into my life through the eclipse. A triple Leo. All right. Let's see what's going on in Leo world. The 3 of Pentacles. Okay. So this is a cool card. It's like these 3 people are working together on a craft. Like they're doing like this weaving project or something. It's like working with others. So it feels like Leos, you guys may be working with other people, or maybe and it may be specifically that there's that there's you and two other people working on something, or you just spent some time with two other people. The number three may be significant because it's the three of pentacles. So the number three may be is significant for you in some way. There may be a timing factor, 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years kind of thing too. If you're asking a question around that, Leo, but it definitely feels like that there's this, that they're enjoying. Let's see that he's smiling here. This guy's smiling like, hey, I'm creating, we're working with someone else. So I'm getting this done. This is so fun. This is, so um yeah, it feels like the Leo, you may be enjoying something new aspect of creativity, or be opening up things creatively, or found your muse. There's something going on here too. I think he's kind of looking at her. Uh Yeah, there's some real neat creative juju, and I'm just drawn to how like native this kind of feels. It almost like feels like there's a past life thing going on here, because it's not what these people aren't native. They're not wearing native stuff, but this feels very native. So there may be definitely where you're feeling a past life connection very strongly coming up, or even picking up creative things that you've done in past lives, like weaving, for example, or painting, or, anything that could have been a craft or project or something that you knew how to do in a past life might be coming up this week. All right, Virgos, you're next. All right. Are you hanging with the Mercury retrograde? Okay, Virgo. It can be hard. Make sure you're talking. Actually, it can help you put yourself into your intuitive. Like y'all are so used to being in your head and thinking. If you feel like more fuzzy and you can't get clear and not in your right mind, like that's usually how Mercury retrograde can hit Virgo. So like, and they're like, what? I can't see. Okay. All right. The Temperance card is coming up for the Virgos. Okay, so Temperance, if you take that at face value, Temperance is doing things in balance, right? You temper something. You don't go fully in, you do it as it feels right. I'm This guy's kind of, he's got a story. He's got, see those angel wings that are coming up behind him? They're kind of subtle. So it could, to me, this could really indicate that Virgos, you can get in touch with your spirit guides this week. Like you might have a direct encounter with an angel or spirit guide that's around you this week. You may get some clarity, have some feeling, like really realize you are safe and protected. I'm also seeing hiking boots here on this guy. So there could be definitely some hiking through the woods going on here, Virgos, or mountain hiking. Maybe it's like you need to get out of here, except he doesn't have he's got the shirt for outside in the sun. So he may be doing some yard work, doing some work outside. Watch Make sure you're eating enough. He looks kind of gaunt here. So Virgos, are you like making sure you're getting the proper nutrition? Are you eating well? You listening to Temperance again? Are you listening to yourself when it comes to how you're feeding yourself? Are you listening to your body? Are you feeding it enough? Are you feeding it too much, too little? Listen to your intuition about that. I feel like there's a strong thing of that. And then, he's got the sun and the moon in his hands, like yeah. I know all about this eclipse stuff. Yeah, it's where I do my power. It's where I do my thing. All right, Virgo. So do your thing. Manifest something powerful during these eclipses, right? Go for it. Get ready for this solar eclipse. All right. What do we have next after Virgo? We have Libra. All right. It's kind of fun using a different deck. What do you think? Make sure you guys give me comments. And I do appreciate those of you that do. I do get a lot of feedback from you guys. Okay. Libra's the Hermit. Need I say more? Definitely wanting time alone this week, Libra, or time, just at least time to grasp the special. Like you're really getting it that the best time is good time with you. Like it's not about other people. Other people can be wonderful. Significant others can be wonderful, but the best thing is when you have a fabulous connection with you and the universe. See her? She's just sitting there jamming, looking at the stars, just happy. So this hermit is not alone and like miserable. She's like climbed up to her mountain peak. She looks like she can be levitating too. Like she has climbed, she's gone through a journey. Libra, you have gone through it. And it feels like you're at a resting place too, is that you can do just what feels good. What's going to bring the joy? What sparks joy? What sparks fun and adventure and connection? Um, I feel like you feel very connected in your heart to other people, even though you may be spending more time alone or you'd be spending time away from your loved one. There's that thing. This is interesting. Here's the house, right? The hermit's house. So there may be some traveling away from your home that you're doing too, Libra, to get that sort of mountain peak experience. You may be leaving home to have that experience. Or planning a trip in which you're going to be doing that. It may not be happening this week. Maybe you be planning a trip this week where you're leaving home. But it feels like you're in a good, sweet place right now, Libra. This feels like a good week. Okay, Scorpios. The deep, dark waters of Scorpio. It can be intensive to be Scorpio. It can. It can be hard to find people that understand you. It can be fun to sit and watch everyone else and be the great observer and feel like you know everyone well because you've been watching. I know you guys, you Scorpios, Scorpio risings. Oh, we got the Eight of Pentacles again. Okay. Let's see. So again, organizing, putting things in order, feeling proud of your accomplishments, but it feels like financial restructuring, organizing things, figuring out timing of things with the cycles of the moon. With Scorpio, I'm really feeling like you're figuring out the plan, figuring out the cycles, and like when things are going to happen. It feels like timing is and you're you don't know yet. You're still waiting for more insight. She's looking at the candle, and in this case, I feel like she's still waiting. I feel like there's a waiting to get information, waiting. So you're waiting on a piece to make a move, take your next step, to do the next thing. You've got everything you need in front of you. That's for sure. So it feels like you're feeling blessed right now, Scorpio, with everything that you could want in your life. It's kind of like, okay, let me just enjoy this. Let me get it all in balance. Okay. Who do we have next? We have the Sagittariuses. Okay, the Six of Cups. This is a sweet card, isn't it? It looks like there's a transformational journey from puppy to bigger dogs, puppy and small child here, and growth. So this is about growth and recognizing you've grown. It can also be the passage of time. It can be the passage and loss of loved one, or thinking about someone. Like you could be thinking of an animal that you lost. It could also just be thinking about your own life. It feels more strongly as thinking about your own life and how far you've traveled and how far you've changed. The Six of Cups, again, the cups is about relationships and love, and six is like, I don't know. I just feel like this is about being grateful for all that you've manifested in your life and all that you have. And it just feels like it's a card of gratitude to me, Sag. This is just being grateful. And that you have a lot to feel grateful for this week is what it feels like. Just like, yeah. Okay, I might be a little sad, but I'm good. That's what it feels like. All right, so we have the Capricorns next. Okay. Capricorns, having Pluto in your sign for a long time. Oh, really? We have that Eight of Pentacles again. I think this is the first time I've pulled the same card for 3 different signs. So we got a lot of people that are going through phases right now that are very strongly affected by the eclipse. So apparently Capricorn, you guys are too, getting things in order, getting things planned, getting things organized, doing creative projects, feeling good about yourself, maybe a promotion at work, or trying to look. I mean, you get your hair all pulled up. I'm really feeling like this could be work for the Capricorns. It's like, yes, I'm doing my best at work. I've got my good clothes on. I'm suited up, ready to go. Y'all are going to see. It feels like making plans for the future. Yeah, I'll show the card again so you can see it. So this is for Capricorn. 8 of Pentacles. So this is making money, having money come in, having abundance of what you need financially, and it's just about managing it. Okay, managing well. So there could be money management stuff coming up this week, Capricorn. All righty, then we have the Aquariuses. As ornery as the Aquariuses are, the cards acting kind of ornery with that. Okay, 8 of Swords. Okay. This is not looking as happy of a card here, the 8 of Swords. This feels like self-torture, self-sabotage. Like your inner demons are kicking your butt big time, and you're feeling all bound up and with guilt or shame or feeling horrible about yourself. These blackbirds are like, these blackbirds are not taking her broken wings and helping her learn to fly, I don't think. This is not what's happening in this card. And what else is going on in here? Again, I don't know this deck, so it almost feels like it could be a suicidal energy where there's just like you can't see yourself clearly in the mirror, like, or you don't want to look in the mirror. You're afraid of seeing something within yourself that is negative too. Like, and it may be a lot. I feel like you're tripping harder than like if you stop. If you shift some negative beliefs and thinking, it can make all the difference in the world. Like, instead of beating yourself up over and over and over again for whatever that you didn't do right, or you like, you forgive yourself, let yourself go. You're in chains and bound about something. So forgive yourself, let yourself off the hook. It's in the past, it's over, it's done, let it go. Visualize what you want to be moving for and towards into the future. You don't have to stay stuck in this rut and this self beating yourself up. I mean, we all have human nature. It can be self-destructive, but this feels like this week, Aquariuses or Aquarius moons or risings, you may come face to face with your inner demons. That may be what you get some realizations around. And I really pray that you can, when you see them arise, instead of running away or using something to numb yourself out so you can't feel them, would be to just embrace the feeling, go into the feelings, close your eyes. That's one thing she is doing. Close your eyes, go into this feeling, whether it's fear or worry or anxiety or guilt. Go into the feeling. Where is it in your body? Track it down, breathe into it, breathe out, ask it what it wants. Like, really tend to the stuff that gets triggered and pulled up. If you breathe, if you go into it, if you write about it, like, if you go into it, can come up and out. It's a real opportunity for some deep, deep level shifting of a painful karmic pattern of self-sabotage is what it feels like. That Aquarius says you have the potential to heal this week. That's powerful. It's a deep, gnarly one. Like I said, we all have that. So it looks like Aquarius is, y'all can really heal that this week. So, all right. And last is the Pisces. Okay. The cards don't want to shuffle. So weird how the energy will shift immediately when I change signs and then it wants something different. Okay, come on, Pisces. Let me give you a reading here. Don't be too stubborn where you don't get a reading. Oh, it's so interesting. One card turned over itself in the middle of the card deck. So, okay, it shows itself. We have the Four of Cups here, Pisces. It looks like she's waiting on someone here. Or maybe she's just tired. She's at the end of the day. She's got all these bowls around her, but they look empty. So either it feels like, the work has been, I'm tired of work. Pisces feels like just tired, worn down. I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy to go clean the dishes. I don't, like, I'm waiting. I'm tired of waiting. Whatever. Is this person going to come? I don't know. Do I care? I don't know if I care. That's what it feels like with the Pisces. I don't know. There's an opportunity to do some like creative stuff and like this interesting. This bowl, someone's handing this bowl, like, here, look, here. And she's looking away from where there's an opportunity. So make sure, Pisces, that you don't get so into your and complaining and just wanting to be reclusive that you don't overlook an opportunity coming from someone else. So I feel like, Pisces, you guys have an opportunity coming in from someone else this week, and make sure that you're tuned in so that you see that you're aware of where you should be putting your energies and actions so that you're awake and present and aware when the universe brings this gift into you this week. Because I feel like you're kind of out of it. You can miss it. Someone could leave a delivery on your porch, and after leaving it there for 2 days, your neighbor goes, I'm taking it. You could miss out on something positive. Four of Cups, I feel like could be, family stuff coming together too, like a missing piece, a missing family piece, like a missing member of the family coming together too, Pisces. I'm going to throw that out there. All righty. That's the 12 signs this week. Hopefully you got something out of these, what I had to say today, what came out of my mouth today. Definitely some channeling coming in today. And if you'd like to support this channel, if you're still with me, I, of course, appreciate your long attention and happy to accept tips and donations via Venmo and PayPal. And I'll put the links to that underneath this too. All right. So have a great week. Remember, it's Mercury retrograde, so give yourself extra time to travel places. Rethink, make sure you're ready to say what you say before you say it. Read over the things you send before you send them. Make sure you send them, right? Check your car. All these kind of things can pop up this week. But and downloaded messages I think, is going to be the theme this week. Psychic and spiritual ahas, real revelations, realizations, and could they continue letting go of things that are left over from the lunar eclipse, and new beginnings that you start thinking about and what you want for your life heading up for next week. Okay, have a great one.